In terms of the looking at some of the children's books that you've written and illustrated, there seems to be a theme around sort of being with about young people or people who are different, diverse people. Can you tell us where that inspiration is and where that came about?
Well, that came from my childhood specifically, when I was growing up, and well now as well. I have a brother who's profoundly autistic and non-verbal, and my childhood there was a lot of him in my childhood and growing up as a teenager as well. So I feel like it's such a big part of my life, and it feeds into a lot of the stories I do, because relating to him was quite different and still is quite different to how I relate to other people as well. And that's always been quite a big interest for me, is communicating with people in slightly different ways.
Yeah, certainly. And I think looking, the book Me and My Sister specifically is around that topic, isn't it? And certainly, I had a quick look at some of the reviews, and and they were saying it was sort of, it was a sensitive, realistic approach that was optimistic as well in a book. And I think that's excellent, and certainly, that's great, because they can in the past maybe have been a tendency of labeling and stereotyping towards particular groups of people, autism being one of them. So it's great that book sort of challenges that. And why do you think it's had so much resonance with people?
I think perhaps people can relate to it because it's the story of the sibling of me and my sister. It's a story that isn't told very often, which is the sibling of a person who's profoundly disabled. That's not a story that many people get to hear, but the people who've been through that themselves or recognize it in their children can recognize it immediately. And it's something quite unique. So certainly with me, I didn't have any books like that growing up that told that specific story about what it was actually like. And a lot of the situations in the book are directly things that actually happened with me and my brother, although it's gender swapped. But
no, that's it, isn't it? And I think it isn't. It's almost something that's relevant and has resonance that people can relate to, and I think that's important, isn't it? I suppose. And you look at we've chatted as part of this series with a number of authors, and we ask questions about in your process, in your writing style, what are you attracted to, and quite often it's about writing about what you know and what you're experiencing. I suppose that book is a great example of that, isn't it? That you're writing from what you know, and you're writing from the heart in a sense, rather than creating. I suppose could it be any more different from Pokemon? They seem two very different universes almost.
Well, you say that, but then Pokemon, I find like I've worked with a lot of people, a lot of autistic people besides my brother in my professional career, and I've found that, I don't want to stereotype anyone, but Pokemon is very autism friendly on the whole. So yeah, I feel like I would defend that point, to be honest.
No, and you shouldn't. You've no need to defend that point at all. No, I get that.